Hi there. So, are you looking to make a cute little thank you gift or give a Valentine gift for that one that likes to send out little cards? I have the perfect thing for you today. Welcome to Stampin' with Diane. I'm Diane Evans. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up Demonstrator. Have you seen the best dress suite that is in the mini catalog? It's found on page 54 to 56. So you have all these different samples, different purses and that sort of stuff, and the designer series paper, which I haven't even played with. And then the bundle, which we're going to use today, and all the accessories that go along with this. And again, here's the stamp set and the dies that go along with it. You know, it's funny because when I first saw this bundle, I went, yeah, that's one thing. I thought, I'm not going to get it. Yeah, right. It's the dies that actually sold me. I love the purse, and now I know that you can make other things with it. I just have to have it. So there's a few other things, and I played with it for a full day with this whole thing, and I fell in love with this whole suite. So I hope you do too. This is what we're going to be doing today. We're doing this little tiny purse, and it's with the Valentine theme with it. And I've made some cards that go with it. And I thought I'd give this actually probably to one of my granddaughters. And you can also get envelopes that go along with it. So this is what you're going to need to make it. You're going to need the All Dressed Up bundle. And then, of course, the Heartfelt bundle to make the cards. And the Heartfelt bundle is the stamp set with the punches. The paper that you're going to need with this, just going to put this off to the side here, is you're going to need 2 pieces of Flirty Flamingo, and they're cut at 5 inches by 5.5 inches. That's right. So you're going to need 2 of those. You're also going to need a piece that is 1 inch by 6.25 inch. And another piece that's 1.5 by 2 inch. And I'm actually going to switch this piece up, and I'm going to switch it to a white. I used the DSP that was from my Heart DSP, and I picked up 2 pieces of that, and they're cut at 3.5 by 3.75. You're also going to need a little piece of silver foil cut at 1.5 by 1.75. And you'll see where all these different elements fit onto there. For the cards that I did in here, I cut these cards at 3 by 6 inches, scored at the 3-inch mark. Now I tend to, when I'm going to make some 3 by 3 cards, we used to have them where they would come in our catalog as a bundle that you could buy, where you could buy the note cards and the envelopes, but you can't anymore. So I used 12 by 12 paper, and then I just scored at 3 inches and at 9 inches, and then cut 3 inches and then back to 6 inches. And there's also the envelopes, the 3 by 3 envelopes, and they're available in the annual catalog. And I think they come in a bunch of 40, I believe. And they can be found, I'm not sure, I think it's on page 168. So let's go ahead and start making this. Now, for the ease of this video, I've gone ahead and I've done an awful lot of the cutting with the die, but I want to show you a few things. So I've just brought that in there. So when I cut these pieces here, these are the pieces that lie in there. I went and I took this part of the die, and I just cut that part out like that. And then afterwards, what I did was, there's some stitched edges on here, and this whole purse is actually done with stitched edges, and it's really kind of cute. So all I did to make this so it layered was I just cut along the stitched edge right there, and then that gave me my 2 layers that I'm going to have there. And I've gone ahead and I've cut out the 2 buckles that are here. I cut those out in silver foil. And I cut the 2 strips. These are going to be for the purse handle. And then I cut the piece like this from this die here. Now, you can go and change this up if you want and put buttons on there and that sort of stuff. But we're just going to go with the buckles for now because I think they're so dang cute. All right. the key thing with this is to make sure that you do the proper scoring. So you just want to make sure you bring in your bone folder. That's going to be your best tool for this sort of stuff. And just make sure it's good and scored on all those score lines. So I'm going to go ahead and do this part for you. Now probably the hardest part on this whole purse is, and I'll show you in just a second here. Get these in. They fold in very well. I ran this die actually through the Big Shot twice. Now there's a piece here, and the best way to do this is to do it with your nails. And if you don't have any nails, you could just use your bone folder. And I just ran along on the inside of this, along that score line. Now there's also, if you can see where this is edged out there. That's very important that you get this folded along there. So I'm going to just get this like this, and I'm going to bring it down to that point, and then I'm going to score that, the bone folder. And then I'm just going to go in with these pieces. Now these pieces are what brings the card where it can go in like this, I mean the purse, that it can go in like that, or that it can go out like this once it's folded. You'll see how important those are in just a bit. All right. So we can do some of our prep work ahead of time. I want to get this layer on here. Like I say, this part is the stitched part that I cut along, so it gave a real even edge along there. Now I'm going to use Tombow glue for a good portion of this today, just because there's smaller areas that it goes into. And it also gives you a bit of wiggle room too, right? I'm just going to put that one on there. And it just lines up inside those stitch lines. And we'll do that on the other side as well. Now, like I said, on the purpose of this one, I'm going to use a white pocket on the front of the card. So I have to just decide which one I want to be the front of the card. Not that it really matters too much, but I think what I'll do is I'll use this side to be the front. So I'm just going to actually just go around here, a thin bead of the Tombow glue along. Oops, can you see that? White on white, it makes it more difficult. But just a thin bead. And I know I've mentioned it before. The one thing that you want to do with Tombow glue is you kind of want to let it stick, just dry for a little bit. So we're just going to put that there. Now to make these purse straps, the best thing to do is to take your bone folder and just curl them. And then we're going to put these buckles on. So just like this. And then I'm taking my tear and tape, and I'm just going to tape that onto the back of that. I seem to have I thought I misplaced a buckle, but I've got all 4 of them here now. So, okay, so I just put the tear tape there. I'm just going to tear it off so that I can get it so that it's even on the front. So that's not very even there, so decide how I want that. I'm just going to cut that little bit off there. Put those scissors there. There we go. Okay, this is probably, before it gets stuck everywhere, I'm going to stick this on the front. Does that look like that's about in the middle? Yeah. So this way, at least, I have, if I want to, I can put something here in the pocket there. Okay, so those are good there. So we're going to want to go and put the rest of these buckles onto this card, or onto this belt, or the straps. Okay. So I think the best thing is to tear this off first and then put it on. I want it so it's in the middle of the buckle. Just down like that. And we're probably going to have to trim this off as well. And we're going to do the same on the other side. When I was playing with this the other day, oh, it was so much fun. And I can't wait to show you one thing. Hopefully it's not too old-fashioned that I've done with it, but I'm so pleased with how it worked out. Nothing like being a bit of a tease, right? And onto the other buckle. This, I could have really dressed this up, this purse, but I thought for the girls, I thought it would be better to be a little bit plainer than with all the different foils, but that From the Heart Designer Series paper could make some pretty dashing purses, that's for sure. Okay. There we go. So with this, what I did was, let's actually put this purse together. So I took the Tombow glue. Now, you could use your tear and tape, which I'll show one side done with the tear and tape. So I just put this on here, and you'll notice one thing. It is a little bit wider than, it's a little bit wider right here, but no worries. I'll show you a way to do it that we can actually. So what you do is you take that and you fold this tear and tape back. I do prefer to use tear and tape on a project that's like this. And the reason being is it does stick pretty good and you don't have to wait for it to dry. So you're just going to line that up along the edge there. You want to make sure that it's good and even, and it's right to the edge there. So then I'm going to show you the Tombow glue. Excuse me. With the Tombow glue, again, we want to kind of make it just dry a little bit. It's tackier. It doesn't give you as much wiggle room, but it does make it a lot easier for when you're putting it together. For the purse, let's see. So let's just make it even there, even down at the bottom, and make sure that there's no, that it's even with the side here as well. So there we go. So there's our purse that's done like that. Now we're going to, and I should have done this before, but I can do it this way. I'm just going to put some tear and tape. This one's a little bit wider down at the bottom. So just put the tear and tape on there. Stuff, like I say, you can fold it over on one another so that you don't have any of that extra sticky outside of there. So we're just going to put that on there. Tear this little piece off. And then I want the back part of this, because this is the front, I want there to be a clean edge. So I'm going to put my tear and tape on this side here. And I should have done this before I put this box together because it is a lot easier that way. That's how I put all the rest of them together. So I'm just going to fold these two edges in. Take this off. There we go. So I'll fold those two edges in, this edge in there. And normally I would put two along here, and I think I'm still going to put two along there. I want it to really hold down there. Just think, you don't even have to use this as a card holder. You could use it as to hold treats, different things like that. So, okay, so we've got those hooked, whoops, down there, and they're even. We can take in our bone folder and just like that, and then let's just line this part up here, and then just take the back end of the bone folder and burnish that down. So see, this is where this gusseted end, I think that's what it's called. If it goes in like that and like that, it can be a purse that's like that. Or on this one, because we're going to put the gift card holders in, I'm going to have it come out like that. Okay, so now we're going to take these edges off and we're going to attach the handle. Now there's different ways of attaching handles for this purse, and I find they're for different projects that you're doing. So for this project, because we're actually going to be putting something inside of it, let me get this part off. I'll get this part off as well. Because we're putting something that's 3 by 3 inside of there, we want the handle, and I just can't get this off today. There we go. So the handles, I want to go down here. I think I might even bring it down to this part here because I don't want any white showing on the back. And I'm just bringing my handle over to this part over here. And you'll see on here, that's why I can actually put these cards inside, because it's bigger. So you see, did that make any sense? So that's the back side. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the handle on the front side now. With it curled like that, it makes it very easy to work the handle on the purse. If it wasn't curled, trust me, they tend to fold, like very creased folds. So this way is a lot better. Right, so see how there's no white in the back, and on these particular ones I think I got some of the white of the buckle showing right here, so we don't want that to happen. So we're just going to bring this down, the buckles down further, and with this one also down there as well. Pretty simple to put that together, right? Now again, I probably should have done this stuff before I did anything, decorate the front of it, but I didn't. Now I happen to have some of these hearts lying around, and that's why I put the white thing on there. I'm just actually going to put some glue right here for a heart that's there, and one here, and one here. So I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to take out the largest heart. We'll put that right in there. And then I can just sort of move it around still with this Take Your Pick tool. There we go. I would have done the same way I did my other one, except that I don't have my die that I cut these hearts out of, and they were Be Mine, stitched Be Mine dies that were in the catalog last year that did carry over this year as well. So let me just get another one here. You know, when you're sending it to two girls, you kind of almost have to make them the same, but a little tiny bit different. So this will work out really good to send to the girls. Okay. And then on this one, I went and I said for you. So I think I'll do the same thing on this one, but I'm going to use some Flirty Flamingo. And I'm just going to take my Versamark. Oh, and this for you came from the Itty Bitty stamp set. So remember, just a light little tap. And then I'm just going to use the white embossing buddy or powder. And we'll just heat set that very quickly. Won't take very long. It's sure not very much on there. That took longer than what it normally does if I was going to do something big. Okay, so, and then I just freehand cut around there, so I'll just do that quickly. And when you're cutting stuff like this, just make sure that you just move the paper. It just makes everything so much easier for you. Don't stress yourself out by fussy cutting. Okay. And then I'll just bring in my tiny little dimensionals, and I think these are even going to be too big. So I think what I'm going to do what I did last time, is I just, off my mini dimensionals, I just cut a thin little strip off of here, and I'm just going to use that on the back of this one to pop it out. Probably the 4U would have been a little bit better if it was a little bit bigger, but I couldn't seem to find one, so. And then we'll just take this part off and stick it on. There we go. Is that straight? Not quite. There we go. Now, I'm not going to, for this video, I'm not making the cards, but I will show you these cards. I'll make up some different ones, and I'll post them also onto my blog post that's here. But I hope that you enjoyed that. And stay tuned, because I do have a couple of other really cute ideas that I've got for this. I've got a grandson that I thought, oh, this might be kind of cute to send to him too as well, but not a purse, right? So anyway, stay tuned. If you do, if you need any of these supplies and live in Canada, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I do have a hostess code. It's right here. If you use that for this month, I'm giving away a tutorial for any online order. And the theme this year is Love or Valentine's Day. And I'd be happy to send these instructions to you. Also, if you could leave a comment below, I'd really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my video. There's also, right beside the subscribe button, there's a bell. If you click on that bell, you'll get notified each and every time that I post a video. But thanks very much. Bye for now.